interface for it?
I think it's recording properly now.
Looks like
I
it
think
is.
I had it set to the wrong.
Did you have it set to the mic in the bedroom?
No one knows about the one in my bedroom. It's set to the one in my office that I game on.
The gaming mic.
I fixed it though.
As opposed to the fapping mic.
Yeah.
I do
Actually, I
that.
don't know what
I
you
do that in the
bedroom.
office too. The bedroom's mostly for sleeping.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good to know. That's not any of the episode, which is fair and valid.
I'm gonna start with just that actually.
I'm assuming that's not. Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. That's a good cliffhanger to start us on.
Yeah, hi and welcome to Blank Bodies, a Vampire the Masquerade V5 tabletop and horror podcast. I'm your host Hunter, and I'm joined by
John.
Hey, it's Sarah. What's up? We're all very tired.
Yeah, I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
I'm mostly doing all right.
Yeah, we had an eventful Gen Con.
This is true.
Those of you who saw us there, hi.
Hello.
Howdy.
It was cool to see your face.
Yes.
With meat.
In the meat space, yes.
Yeah. Your meat space face.
Those of you who are now listening to us because of Gen Con, hi, welcome to the Clown Car.
Hey, welcome.
Welcome. Hi, hello.
It's pretty neat you joined us.
Yeah, so...
I approve of this decision you've made.
This isn't our first episode since Gen Con. It's
Yes.
just the first episode we've recorded. So.
Since Gen Con, yes.
Yeah. So hello.
So that's
Hello.
fun.
Yeah, some of the order on the episodes might be a bit wonky because Podbean fucked us, it seems.
Yeah, Podbean, our hosting service had a bit of an issue. And then also, we prepped ahead a little bit.
Yeah, so
Ooh.
huzzah. We are sometimes professional.
It's pretty neat.
Yeah, it's like 50-50.
Most of the time.
Yeah, we're doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Sarah's usually pretty professional.
I can be professional sometimes.
Yeah, if the mood strikes you, absolutely.
I'm just vibing.
Yeah.
If the mood strikes me.
But, yeah, so everybody who participated with the Powered Resist charity show, thank you very much.
Yeah, that was actually really fucking
really
cool.
fun.
It went well.
It was
It
fun.
was a great success.
Yes.
We managed to raise over $9,000 to donate to Gender Nexus and RAIN.
Woo!
And we now officially have a 501c3 to continue to do this next year.
Woo!
I don't sound too excited.
Yeah.
Yay.
I'm just trying not to yell into the mic.
That's fair.
I was yelling at the ceiling.
We have
to be fair.
government papers to prove that we are good noodles doing good deeds.
Government papers from the government.
That means nothing to me.
We have government papers from the government.
Fantastic.
And actually, in my book, that probably makes me a worse person. But
It's fine. The point is, we're not going to get by the tax man.
that's true.
That's true.
I'm
So,
the tax man.
For those who made it to the Gen Con live show for Blank Bodies, you'll see that we had brought the wheel.
Yeah.
A
new wheel.
A new
brand
wheel.
new wheel.
A new wheel
I
has
even
joined the podcast.
Designed the wheel to fit with our logo. It's like an official Blank Bodies wheel.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty sick. We spun it to decide which of the last of the two of the clans we needed to cover for the Clan Deep Dive series. Ba-da-da-da-da.
Also, we spun it during the live show, and it did not want anything but lore.
Yeah, we also did a little quiz thing, and it was like lore question, lore question, lore question.
The
And I was
only
like,
thing it landed on, I think.
did not want mechanics, only lore. So everybody who participated in that got a free gift. Huzzah!
Great job.
Good job. We appreciate you putting up with our bullshit. Depending on how the recording situation's going, you guys might get a listen to Hunter regale us with him getting stuck in the back rooms at the con.
Yeah, I got lost. I technically trespassed at Gen Con. Don't tell anyone.
Well, there weren't any signs.
Yeah.
All the
that's
signs
true.
said you were leaving.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all the signs said exit. There was nothing that said that we couldn't be there.
Yeah, that's true.
So you're fine. It's not your fault.
At least I didn't see anything.
But with the spinning of the wheel, because you fuckers split the last clan poll, you fucking assholes.
Grr.
Why are you paying me money to bully me? I'm not used to this. It's weird.
Yeah, usually you get paid money for the opposite.
Yeah, usually I'm paid to bully people.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an interesting how the tables have turned. But yeah, so we spun the wheel, and the wheel decided Caitiff. So we're talking about the Caitiffs for
They're not real.
the month. They are.
Hmm.
Uh-huh.
More real than Thin Bloods.
That's fair. Yeah,
Controversies.
that's fair.
Controversies abound.
Listen,
Don't
they
even
don't. They shouldn't be allowed at Elysium, and
Don't-
they aren't real. But at least they're not Thin Bloods.
Hey, don't get me started on the damn fear. On them damn fear.
Those damn fear.
Oh, God. I'm not looking forward to talking about damn here.
I don't even think they're in V5 yet.
Not that, well...
They may have been referenced, but there's not rules.
No, it's been referenced, and I hate that. For everyone, because god damn it. So, for those who are coming in late into the Clan Deep Dive series, we spent a couple episodes digging into each of the clans for Vampire the Masquerade. We spent the first episode talking about vibes and culture, disciplines, banes, the kind of the get the feel of what you're getting into. Episode 2 will be the clan's deep history lore, some stuff about major NPCs, and also any lore sheets that are specific to the clan for V5. And then the third episode is a bonus.
Ooh.
I'm still working out what the bonus episode will be, so I can't give you a heads up because I don't even know quite yet.
We got ideas.
We have ideas. We'll get into why there's so many ideas with the Caitiff on like what should the bonus episode be? But it's fine. Content warning, xenophobia, various kinds of coding for othering, whether that is for mental health reasons, queer coding, racial things, that kind of stuff, abuse, religious trauma. If any of that's not what you're into, you can come back later. Or listen to other episodes, that's all good. Sources for this episode, I limited myself to the V5 core book, the V5 player's guide, the Camarilla and Anarch books for 5th edition. I actually cracked open the new Tattered Facade book.
I still need to read that. I've heard great things.
It's been good. I'm still plumbing through the depths of the Skull book.
I'm too busy reading every Hunter book.
Because Hunter Month is abound.
It's a lot of pages.
It is. The other books that I've read for this episode is the Gehenna War book, Becca's Jihad Diary, Guide to the Sabbat, Rites of Blood, Encyclopedia Vampirica, Lore of the Clans, and Cairo by Night. Huzzah.
Huzzah.
So,
Huzzah!
It's a shorter list of books than I normally would read, but we'll get into why soon enough. Anyways.
I'm going to add one too, because I read a copy of Outcasts, A Player's Guide to Pariahs.
Mm-hmm.
That is one of the weird, the plastic wrapper I keep it in to keep it fresh, is making noises. But it's one of the strange standalone World of Darkness books that's not for specific. Because,
it's like a weird multi-splat book?
Yeah, so it has books for a clan, a tribe, and a tradition. It's got books. It's the Caitiff book, the Garou Ronin, and the Mage Hollow Ones book. So it's just all the freaks that no one likes in one book, basically.
Which is cool. That's interesting and fun. I was saving for reading that for the history episode, just because, like, I spent so much time delving into all of the shit for 5th edition. Oh, he's cracking it. He cracked that seal.
Might as well. I mean, I read it last night. This is not a fresh open. I just put them back in the bag.
When you're done, to keep them nice.
Yeah.
No, that's valid.
If they're going to ship me in a nice book protector, I might as well keep it in that, right?
Yeah. So, I haven't read this book. Hunter has. I'm aware of some of the stuff in it from, like, doing a cursory, like, flip, but I've not, like, read it, if that makes sense.
I also only read the Caitiff section. It's actually listed as separate books.
Yeah.
It's listed as each chapter's instead a different book, but the book is only like 20 pages, something like 25 pages. So like interesting way to do it. But there are some sections. There's a whole character template storytelling and an introduction that I didn't read. I just went straight for the Caitiff juice. So you might find some more info in here for the history episode when you read through some of that. But
yeah. Yeah, we'll get into it. So, before we get into it, here are some quotes to start us off. Quocha.
Oh, maybe it would have been better if my sire had just killed me that night. Because I have stared death and rejection in the eye more times than you will ever have to imagine. Maybe it'll be you that kills me. Or maybe another sheriff. Another prince, another city. All I can do is promise my loyalty to the Camarilla, try and make it through another night, and find some kind of answer until then. So this will all have meant something. That is what it is to be a caitiff. So, what will it be, Sheriff? The stake in the sun? Or exile. Anonymous Caitiff Professor. Lore of the Clans, page 269.
I'm sorry for killing you, babe. For making you whatever it is we are. I couldn't watch you fade away. Remember that despite everything, you're still human. Some of them will try to convince you that you are nothing but a beast. They're lying. It won't be easy. You're closer to the edge than any of your abusive crackhead exes. I know you can own the hunger and the rage. Let it out a little at a time. I wish I could be there to hold you, but I broke some rules when I did this to you. They'll be coming for me now. Keep my ring on. Start every night by saying I'm still human. And you'll be fine. I love you so much.
Anonymous Sire, V5 Core Book, page 15.
I know, as a writer, how valuable a tool is the wastebasket. Perhaps God throws away many experiments before he finds the right expression. Perhaps we are the discards, or we could be the part he keeps. This mystery is what keeps us all going, to see what happens in the next chapter.
Thank you, readers, for reading.
Hey, your voice when you were reading was lovely.
Yeah. Huzzah. So,
Yay.
the clan. The fuck is this? So with Caitiff, what are they known for?
Fucking nothing.
Rude. They're mostly known for being outsiders. Oh my god. Shock and chagrin.
What?
Whether they are truly forgotten, abandoned due to being quote-unquote wrong, or sensing their own uniqueness, these vampires are constantly finding themselves socially, politically, economically, and even spiritually ostracized.
Brutal.
So it's very just like, oh, if you want to play a misanthrope,
Here you go.
This is a good way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, the book they introduced in originally, as I mentioned, was literally just called Outcasts.
Yeah.
Like, it's right on the tin.
Yeah, I had introductions to them through like lore and stuff from like the 20th anniversary books.
Yes.
This
This is the first book that actually had dedicated info on them,
yeah.
though.
Yeah, for sure. Also known for being fighters, the Caitiff, since they're constantly at the bottom of the hierarchy, hunted for existence or being feared for their strange abilities, the Caitiff often find themselves not fighting just their beast, but also just society and every other motherfucker constantly.
Yeah.
So if you like playing a scrappy little guy that's just like, fuck you, my dude.
Listen here.
Or, you know, like if you actually want to play like the brooding tough guy, just kind of
Yeah.
kind of a character, I feel like Caitiff also could work really well for this.
Yeah. I've had a hard life.
Yes, exactly. Fucking weird. They're also just fucking weird. The Caitiff can range from vampires with bloodlines that they just haven't identified yet to truly being something highly strange and unique all on their own. This could be like prophetic, they could be like omens, they could just be truly broken, or just like have a weird amalgam of things, and you can just get really wacky with it if you so desire.
If you go back and read the Outcast book, I think I read, from what I've read in the books that came after, they kind of retcon it, but this is like one of the weirdest like presentations of a clan I've ever seen. It's cool, but there's just weird, there's a lot of like, maybe here's a bizarre thing someone heard.
Yeah.
Fucking kind of terrifying.
It can be very, very terrifying. I think Caitiff is also good if you have a player that just has a really fucking weird idea that you're like, as a storyteller, I kind of want to let this roll, but because of the social stigmas and issues that the Caitiff have, that's like the good leash on the, okay, I'm gonna let the player do this fucking weird thing at the cost of they have to fight every other motherfucker constantly.
Right.
So it's like, you know, bet. So yeah, if you got some weird ideas, I'm like, I want my vampires to have these powers. I'm like, just do an old Oops Old Caitiff game and just see what happens.
Could be kind of fun, honestly.
Could be fun, honestly. The Caitiff are also known as survivors. Many Caitiff find themselves having to find safety and being useful as much as they do to, like, forge their own communities. So there's a bunch of Caitiff who are just like, look, the only way I'm going to survive this dog-eat-dog, vampire game is I just need to make myself too useful to be murdered, and that's my shtick. If I am too useful, I am an asset, and they cannot get rid of me.
No.
Or at least they really won't want to.
Yeah, but that's also you end up playing the game of, oh, you became too useful?
Yeah.
And then people start fighting over you or trying to control you in ways you weren't expecting, and then you end up into, oops, I owe all everybody boons, fuck.
Oh no.
Oops, all boons.
All boons.
Or you could do a game where it's like, if you have players that are like, not as into the politics, so they don't want to get into the cam court bullshit, they don't really want to do with the fighting with the anarchs and all that bullshit. You can really do a game that's more focused on like a smaller community of people, and Caitiffs are really lend themselves for doing that. So like they're weird power set wise, but for new players they might not be the worst way to introduce things. Especially if it's a, hey, we're going to have you all built out as proper clans, but you're going to start off, quote unquote, as Caitiff. So you secretly don't know. So you get this little, like, tutorial level of, you're just dealing with your small group of people, and you're just trying to forge your own community, make your own way in the world, man. And then the big plot happens, and you go and get your blood tested, and oops.
That is...
You're this.
That also is a very confusing thing in all of the text. I mean, Caitiff itself just means contemptible or cowardly. Thank you, Oxford Dictionary.
Yes.
But it is used multiple ways. So Caitiff can mean the clan Caitiff that we were talking about today. Caitiff can also mean Thin Bloods. Caitiff can also mean someone who has been kicked out of their clan. So you could be a Nosferatu, but if the Nosferatu clan kicks you out and you are no longer represented as or recognized as a member of the family, you can also be called a Caitiff.
Yeah.
So the word gets used a lot.
It gets really, and there's also people that just get embraced and abandoned. That's a very common thing in the world, because somebody will panic and like embrace their touchstone, and they go, fuck, I did the embrace without, I am shipping you to Abu Dhabi now. Fuck.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Explain nothing. That happens a lot, so those kinds of characters end up being Caitiff just automatically.
Kind of. There's a theory that that's where all Caitiff come from.
It gets very
Their
annoying.
history is messy. We'll get that probably at the end of the episode of what a Caitiff actually is.
I was leaving that for the history episode because it's so fucking convoluted.
I don't think there's an answer.
There isn't. That's a thing you and the plot get to figure out, but there's a lot of options.
I will say V5 does kind of solidify it a little more than older editions.
A bit.
In that they drew a specific line between Caitiff and Thin Blood.
Yes.
In older editions, the Caitiff were the Thin Bloods. They were Thin Bloods and also something else. And then New Edition did specifically make them separate quote-unquote clans.
Well, there's also the very annoying thing where you could also make a properly Thin Blood character at the very tail end of the old edition as well.
Oh, that's true. They did do some...
Yeah, they ended up doing that. So, like, Thin Blood Alchemy and all that stuff did exist in the previous editions, but it was, like, kind of at the tail end, so, like, nobody remembers or gave a fuck.
It was kind of during, like, the apocalypse, like, the final year of books, wasn't it?
Yep.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so that's partially why I'm like, I was trying to leave the dissecting of what is a Caitiff until the next episode, just because, like, it's so fucking convoluted and a lot of it's tied into, like, the deep history of, like, vampirism in general, that it's just, like, I couldn't find a way to parse that in a way that made any fucking sense.
I think that's a good baseline, though. Oops,
yeah.
Kick the mic. I think that's a good baseline, though, is that they don't have a main clan. They're probably not Thin Bloods.
No, they're definitely not.
And but people most people don't care enough to tell the difference. I think is like, the in lore world reason you can say that is most people don't give a shit about either.
Yeah, the big thing with Caitiff and the way this is getting solidified in 5th edition is Caitiff are clanless vampires, and this could be either you just don't know what your clan is and you've been ostracized by vampire society, or your blood is fucked up, and your blood can be fucked up in two ways. One is your sire was also a Caitiff, so you're also just clanless.
So too bad you, sorry about you.
Yeah, or you were embraced by somebody who wasn't a proper clan, and somehow your embrace went fucky, or your embrace went fine, but you're showing signs of things that aren't for your clan. Like, you don't have the clan banes, you have powers that don't make sense, you have new and weird things on top of that. And for some vampires, that's, like, such a shameful thing to happen, they'll just abandon that child or immediately.
Interesting they don't just, like...
Oh, that happens a lot, too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Just like, I'm gonna just snuff it out and call it a day.
Yeah, I guess I just did a physical thing.
Well, you
I took my thumb across the throat there when I clicked.
Yeah. So it's a complicated thing.
There's also, like Sarah said in the script, they're survivors. One of the things that happens to them a lot is they get sired by a regular clan vampire. They say, oh, you're fucked up, and then they just leave them like, oh, they'll die. They won't be able to hack it on their own. They're a failure. And so them just kind of abandoning them is like sentencing them
Yeah.
to death.
Yeah.
And when your player character survives, that's when they become a player
Yeah.
character. And
So, in terms of like the vampire canon and stuff now, Caitiff are still fully fledged vampires, so they will be recognized in ways that the Thin Bloods aren't.
Mm.
But the Caitiff are at the bottom of the fucking barrel, like below the Gangrel, below the Nosferatu, below the Ravno.
Okay.
Yes. And I
Even
think,
below the ministry?
Yes.
Wow.
and also important to note with the modern what's happening with the Camarilla now that they've kind of shut the doors, they were already kind of like in the books. It talks about how like you're likely if anyone finds out what you are, you'll just immediately get exiled from the city. Nowadays they are on the you can get rid of them if we catch you in a Camarilla city. Like they are a full vampire, but we're still going to kill you.
Yeah.
Well, because depending, and especially 5th edition doubles down on this with some of the weird shit you can do with the Caitiff now. Some of them are like, absolutely a big masquerade problem.
Oh.
Hooray! If you want to play that, you could do that. Other times it's just like a guy, just somebody's dad who's too tired to live. And he's like, man, I just want to do my job. I just want to be left the fuck alone. I just want to do my 5 to 9.
And legitimately in some of the books it talks about like a lot of the Caitiff are like sired by Nosferatu, and they even have all the abilities of the Nosferatu. They just like don't get ugly. So the clan's like, fuck you.
Yeah.
You're a failure.
You're a failure.
Yeah. That's the thing with the Caitiff not getting the Bane, which, yeah, we can go into that more. But that's the thing. We're just like, you're embracers of Ventru. You can just eat whatever the fuck.
Gross.
Oh, no, it's broken.
It makes sense though that the Ventru specifically would take their clan Bane as like no, we have a rarefied palate.
Yeah.
We taste our blood better than most. I don't eat just anything.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you're eating the McDonald's of blood? Get rid of this guy.
He's an embarrassment.
Yeah. Also, a thing I found with the clan that I thought was interesting as a concept is just like burnt out, which is a lot of the Caitiff tend to give up on the rat race of the politics and throw themselves into various things. A lot of the Caitiff become very, very cynical, and so they'll basically like claim their little chunk of whatever the fuck they do, and that's all they give a shit about, and they just kind of want to be left alone.
They're like, hey, these Camarilla dudes have captured all these Thin Bloods, and they're pretty much meat grinding, other Thin Bloods to make ash. And they're like, so what does that have to do with my bakery?
Yeah, it's just like, look, you guys never respect me, you don't call me for meetings, you treat me like shit, and then you're going on about this with jihad? That sounds crazy. Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Literally, the books describe the Caitiffs often as more they believe in survival of the fittest more than the Gangrel.
Yeah, that's not been an interpretation I'm getting from the other Caitiff stuff.
It's directly quoted in Outcast, and I believe the lore of the clans it's mentioned in there.
It's mentioned as, like, there's factions of the Caitiff, and I was trying to save that more for the history episode, there's factions of the Caitiff that really double, quadruple down on the, obviously, we're the best vampires, fuck you guys.
Oh, not even that. Like, this book more talks about them more as individuals, but they're just like, no, it's the survival of the fittest. If you are a Caitiff and you can't hack it on your own, you are worthless. Like everyone says you are. That's why they get along with the Gangrel, because it's just often like, hey, you keep your space, I'll keep mine. But
yeah, that was not really the reading I was getting from like the stuff I was reading. It was a lot more of just either being like really just burnt out and done with all of the bullshit, so they're just like trying to stay in their own lane. But what ends up happening is because they're in their own lane, they end up building a little power base, and they can become just on the side as powerful as an anarch baron or a pack priest, just quietly in their own corner.
Yeah.
And then they start to become a problem in the city, and they're just like, fuck, I don't want this.
That's definitely more, I think, modern. From some of the older books that I was reading, because those are typically more the ones I own. It was more saying that they're more like, we would love for anything to not be involved in all the bullshit. But at this point, we know that there's no way to escape whatever the Methuselahs want, even if you think you're not. They're still watching you and affecting you. So you make yourself absolutely useless and unnoticeable, or you make yourself very useful. There's no escape. Those are your two options to survive.
Yeah. Like in the more modern stuff, it's kind of more of a, either people get involved in the politics game and they either will pretend to be a different clan and just be really good at masking. They'll own up being what they are, but they make themselves extraordinarily useful, or they just kind of tap out and go like really autarkist with it. And since they're already on the margins of society and everything else is on fire,
people just don't even notice.
Yeah. Which is kind of a good and bad thing. Which leads to another thing that's kind of coming up more in the newer things is a lot of Caitiff are kind of being taken up as like almost like older sibling kind of characters, where the Thin Bloods are looking to the Caitiff. Because the Thin Bloods are even more lost on like any of the vampire bullshit, and they're just like, I don't know, man, I was making out with this hot goth chick and now I can turn my blood into fire with Tabasco sauce.
I'm confused.
I don't know what's happening. I can go into the sun. Jimmy can't. And we were both dating the same goth chick. It was like a weird polycule thing. I don't know. Seattle's weird, man. And yeah, I just get like tired dad, tired older sibling kind of a thing. Like there's marriage you can get now in 5th ed as a Caitiff where the Thin Bloods look up to you as a kind of leader figurehead because you're like the full vampire, but because you're on the bottom of the totem pole, you're able to understand their perspectives. Yeah. And you can like call upon them as allies and things.
That's cute.
Which is cool.
The sun thing's interesting too. This is an old edition thing. If you're playing V5, you can, and you're comfortable converting stuff from old editions, but I do think it's neat. They used to have an ability where essentially things that should not give you proper coverage from the sun kind of just magically do for you. Like you spend like a blood point to...
There's a merit for that now.
Oh, it's a new merit? Because I didn't see it in the core book, but...
No, it's not in the core book.
Okay, I haven't read the new book yet, but...
It's in the player's guide.
Okay, originally that was a combined power in the old edition, so it's here. Never mind.
Yeah, no, they basically, like, there's a merit now, there's a bunch of merits I'm going to talk about at the end of the episode. I don't talk about this one specifically, because it wasn't one of my favorites, because there's a couple other ones I thought were cooler. But there's one that's called, I believe it's like Sunscarred, is what it's called. But basically, if you take that merit, the first round you spend in the sun, you take no damage, and then every round after that, every ag damage you would take is actually just superficial damage instead.
Oh, so that for that edition, it's just you can survive longer. Interesting. Okay.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. The only of the vampires that get the full, I can just walk in the day, fuck you, is the Thin Bloods if you take that merit specifically.
That's cool.
But I think that's a fucking horrifying flex for a Caitiff to be like, I'm gonna step into the sun for one round, nothing happened, step back into the shadow. I've stepped back into the sun, nothing happened, step back. I'm in Australia, I'm in America. I'm in Australia, I'm in America.
I misspoke. I think that old merit I'm talking about is actually in Lore of the Clans, now that I'm going over.
Yeah, there was a bunch of merits and stuff from Lore of the Clans that I was like, oh, these could be cool. I don't have time to get into these right now.
Yeah, we can do a whole episode on converting and pulling stuff from all editions. We don't have to worry about it now. I just thought it was worth noting, but if it's in here, we'll talk about it later.
Hell yeah. So ideas I had on the drip, at least for the Caitiff. I think the idea of, like, a thing that I've seen a lot in the artwork for Caitiff characters, a lot of very extreme alt-fashion. Because they're outsiders, so fuck it.
Yeah.
Like, all of the art, official art I have seen for Joseph Pander, who's, like, one of the big Caitiff characters in the canon, looks like a 70s punk made it to the Y2K times and went even wilder with their dress. He's a spot guy, so it makes sense. A lot of streetwear, I think a lot of DIY and patchworks, like having your outfits look particularly like scuffed, a lot of working class fare. Capsule wardrobes, I think, would be interesting, where it's like wardrobes where you don't have a lot of money, so you have like investment pieces that you can wear over and over again and be rematched. Which I think something in vampires specifically is something that would get clocked. Yeah. Because pretty much all other vampires like have infinite money. So even if their like aesthetic isn't as opulent as the others, they like constantly can buy new clothes or are constantly set up. And I think having your character get clocked for being a Caitiff because they only have 3 blouses that they just keep wearing over and over again could be funny. Or just an interesting like dichotomy compared to the others, because like you as a Caitiff, you don't have the social network and the support network like the other clans would or do, so you don't have people coming to help you, so you got to figure this out on your own. Right. And sometimes you're just like, look, I have a wardrobe, I have 2 pairs of pants, I have 1 pair of shorts, I have 1 skirt, I have 3 blouses, I have 2 t-shirts, that's all I got.
That's all I need.
Maybe a vest. I also think interpreting ideas of outfits being upstairs, downstairs, which I understand is like more of a British concept, but something I've grown up for forever, where it's like rich folks upstairs, poor folks downstairs, and just that like class divide. So I think having a Caitiff character that has clothes that they can switch between upstairs and downstairs would be an interesting thing, where they have clothes and aesthetic where they can dress it up and dress it down depending on where they're going.
Yeah.
And just being kind of flexible like that. A lot of thrifting, I think a lot of upcycling.
I could also definitely see a lot of DIYing.
Oh yeah, a lot of sewing things, like hand sewing things or patchwork things. I've really gotten into recently looking into like sashiko, I think's how you say it. It's the Japanese needlework for like patching, but what's cool with the sashiko patching is you're using thread to sew in various forms of grid, so you can do like these really cute patterns that you can either match the threads with the garment, so you just like get a light texture, but the patchwork is in, or you can do contrasting like threads and make it like really stand out.
Yeah,
like it looks really cool. I like it. It's like the fabric version of kitsurugi. And I'm like, oh, this is cool, because I am poor and I patch a lot of my clothes. And
How
I was
can I
like,
make it better?
Yeah, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. I don't have to go full embroidery with it, and I'm just like, I can just do these like cool little
Shoop, 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 shoop.
like geometric patterns instead. That's kind of sick. So for this, we have the orphans, the freestylers, the wretched, the panders. These are known as the clanless. Yay, Caitiff!
Yeah, Caitiff.
I don't know where they got the information. I was trying to look something else up on the White Wolf wiki, but
Oh.
it said one of their other nicknames is just trash.
Oh, that's from V5.
Okay.
That's
cool.
from V5.
Yeah. Yeah, I just didn't want to throw that in there because
It's fucking rude.
one, it's fucking rude. If somebody wants to use it, cool, I guess. When I do those little like things at the end of the vibe check where I'm giving the list of alt names, I try to pick ones that I feel like people would actually use in just day-to-day speech. And I've done this with other clans where I've edited out other options because I'm like, I don't see anyone just dropping this casually. And I feel like just dropping trash for just an entire swath of vampires is like too vague.
Big, but I could absolutely see the Camarilla doing it.
Oh yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
someone who does not know the difference between Caitiff and Thin Blood, that whole...
Right, but I feel like the Camarilla at this point is going to be also referring to the Bruja, the Gangrel, the Ministry, like all of the Anarchs as trash anyways. So I was just like, that seems like such a very particular group of people to be referring to with such a vague name, which you're going to be referring to a third of your society at this point.
Well, you know, I still don't put that beyond the Camarilla, but...
Fair. I'm just ordering my own like editorial choices. Was just like, these make sense for for people to say.
I mean, the La Sombra are in there now, and I think they call everyone but the La Sombra that, so...
Yeah.
The La Sombra refer to each other as trash.
Probably Ventru, too.
Oh, yeah.
Ventru, it's everyone else. La Sombra, it's including themselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am trash.
No,
I
it's
didn't
everyone
do it
but
good
me.
enough. I am trash. I have to be Daddy's favorite. I'll do it again, but better.
I'll make myself not trash.
Exactly. I'm trash now, but I won't be trash tomorrow.
With the Shadows powers and this gun I found.
Yeah.
So, in-clan behaviors and socializing. There is a general lack of social structure within this quote-unquote clan. Shocking no one.
What?
So typically,
Why?
in most cities, there's not even enough Caitiff around to be able to build up the social block to have any kind of political power. So expecting there to be any actual, like, official organizations is coconuts.
Yeah, also I feel like any sort of, like, already built structure, power structure, would absolutely put a quash to that.
Oh, yeah.
They're like, wait, hold on, there are 5 Caitiff in that building right now? Why? Well, okay, Jerry, take care of it, please.
Not Jerry! Jerry salutes.
Done.
Coffee skates out. Just suddenly, there's so many fires. No, Jerry. They did pay him in a pint of blood. Son of a bitch.
That's an interesting update from some of the older books, though, because in, like, we'll say back in the 90s, in canon time, it specifically says they tended to form coteries that were all Caitiff. So they could just, like, cover for each other and watch each other back. And it's like, oh, just taking out one vampire we don't like easy. Oh, there's, like, 6 of them hanging out. Like, that's going to take work, and they're not really bothering anyone. They can have the worst part of town.
Well, like, and that's kind of the thing with the restructuring with the Camarilla being so upstairs,
Locked down.
downstairs, and locked.
Yeah.
A lot of cities don't have the incentive to allow for that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So if there was a city previously that had a group of Caitiff and they're just like in this little corner, they probably got wrangled up to Elysium and was like, okay, what do you do? It's not useful. Bam. All right, next one. What do you do?
Oh, it's kind of useful.
All right, you're going
We'll
to this.
watch you.
We're chucking you at this coterie. What do
Yeah.
you do?
Or the smart one saw what was happening and just left.
It left, maybe had gone into torpor, or were able to pay like a Tremere off to fake a blood test and be like, oh, turns out they were whatever the fuck this clan was.
Yeah.
Now they owe that guy a big boon.
It also specifically says in some of the older books they do a good job of getting along with the Ravnos, because it's hard to get exiled when you're only a place for a night or two.
Yeah, so that was something I made a note about at the end of the episode. Fuck it, I'll just bring it up now. I didn't find any really serious notes about how the Caitiff and the Ravnos get along now.
I would imagine probably just as well. I mean, especially with the hits Ravnos take.
Yeah, I was gonna say, considering now officially with, like, you know, fucking Zapathasura being gone, like the clan broken.
Yeah.
Basically, the Ravnos now are, like, one of the only clans that, like, we officially know, like, no antediluvian.
Yeah.
So they're going to be on par with the Caitiff in a lot of ways, especially now that they weren't previously, even though they are still, like, an official clan. So I think there's a lot of room there for it to be really good stories with, like, Caitiff and Ravnos kind of, like, working together more or being more empathetic with each other. But I didn't find any notes more in the V5 canon, like, confirm any of that kind of an idea.
Yeah, that was pretty directly stated in some of the V20, and I think this is first ed stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, this is definitely a first ed book, I'm pretty sure. But
okay.
The 90s.
Yeah.
We'll say
We'll
the
say
90s,
the 90s
books, and then the V20 books, which are more modern. But
Yeah. So, what little support that the Caitiff can find in a city, they tend to aid each other in what seems to be written as either a us against the world, so it'll be like the coterie is one team unit of Caitiff, they're working together. Cool. Or
Good
they'll
job, guys.
like be in a coterie and they'll basically be closeted, where they're like, yeah, we're in a group together, we're working together, we're allies, we're all lying about what we're doing, right? Cool. We're all on the same page.
Fantastic.
We are all in a lavender marriage together. Which, that good story, also just very woof. Ugh. And then there's also the option of having the guy on the inside, so you could have the group of Caitiff where it's like the ones that are like in hiding, struggling on the street, and you got the one guy who goes to Elysium and is successful. So he's kind of like the guy on the inside that's able to like support the group back home.
Mm-hmm.
Or, you know, the group back home is able to be like, hey, if you fuck up, you need a place to go. We got you, boo. So those seem to be, like, the three most commonly interpreted reasons I had seen for the few Caitiff that are able to work together. That's kind of how they operate. It seems, though, but with modern knights being what they are, you know, the Gehenna.
That whole thing's
That
happening.
whole thing, yeah. It's becoming more common in these nights for Caitiff to find themselves in communities with thin bloods and even marginalized mortals that they may have ties to within the supernatural community. It's pointed out in the text that, like, ghouls might be mixed in with Caitiff and thin bloods as kind of like outcast weirdos in the player's guide, because they're all kind of lumped in that same section. I'm pointing out I think there would be room for Caitiff to have allegiances with mages, changelings, hunters, werewolves, given the correct leverage and plot reasons. So if you want to have a game where you start to delve with the other splats, having a character in your coterie that's already a Caitiff, I think, lends you narratively a natural, like, this guy's already fucking weird. Let him have some...
Of course he fucking hangs out with changelings.
Yeah, or the changelings are just like, hi, we like you.
You're a fucking weirdo, aren't you?
Yeah.
The
Your skin's so pretty. And you're just like, ugh.
Why? Please don't say that.
The werewolves are specifically interesting. In this book, I believe it talks about how most of them end up outcasts. It talks about them end up dying at the hands of werewolves fairly often, because they're like, oh, well, I'm not allowed in the city. What I'm going to do, wander out into the woods and immediately get ripped to shreds.
Oh, poor guy.
That is like...
Yeah, I would imagine that happens a lot to Caitiff who aren't able to, like, scrabble and get their stuff together. With stuff going on with W5, I think there might be more room depending on the story you're telling.
It's also...
Of there being a link between, like, a particular vampire and a particular werewolf in a way that's, like, beneficial.
That's also very interesting, because vampire is openly, unless they say otherwise, a continuation of Vampire the Masquerade, the old editions.
Yes.
That doesn't seem to be true at all for a hunter, and it is canonically stated that it is not the same for a werewolf.
Yeah.
So where the two overlap, there's a lot of space for you to make decisions about how much of that was true and how much of it wasn't, and how much of that was just vampire propaganda, and how much of that was...
Yeah, and it's... W5 is an interesting spot because the lifespan and turnover rate for Garou is so much faster than like a regular human. So it's like, yeah, there might be vampires who remember the before times when like things with the werewolves were very fucked up. But now because of where the situation with Gaia and how everything is with the werewolves, now there might be werewolves that are more chill with dealing with vampires. Especially if there's vampires that are like, hey, I would also like the planet to not be boiling.
I mean, yeah.
Like, global warming sucks. I live here, and if all of my food has to move, that fucking... There needs to be more vampires that are into, like, actual, like, green energy and shit. That's what I'm saying. It makes sense.
It's just agriculture.
Yeah, well, it's like, oh, well, like, even for the vampires that don't care about the agriculture portions of it, it's like, well, the environment being fucked up, like, wildfires being more of a problem is probably a horrifying thing for vampires to have to contend with, because there's now wildfires happening in places they don't normally. Like, a personal one for me, with the wildfires that are now happening in Scotland and other parts of the UK, like, King Arthur's throne is on fire, like, right now.
Wild.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's bad. I was like, you mean the wet place is on fire? The place that's infamous for it never stopping raining is on fire? What do you mean?
That's not supposed to happen.
No! Like, so just that, the wildfires alone should be enough motivation for vampires to be like, okay, we really gotta work with these fucking tree-hugging furries to get shit in order, because this sucks. I have to move again, because my house catches fire.
God damn it.
And, you know, with Caitiff being marginalized characters in particular, they're going to be in places that issues like global warming are going to affect them more than maybe some of the other vampires. Because not only are they going to be put in, like, places that are going to be more harmed by the ecological issues, they also will not have the resources to, like, relocate or rebuild or any of that shit.
Yeah.
And that's just one of the splits.
Great.
Yeah, lots of story options there if you want to get into that shit. Other big thing that a Caitiff will do is playing all of the sides.
Yeah, I can see that.
There's something... Especially for 5th edition, they bring up a lot. It is not uncommon for the Caitiff to play all the clans and all the sects against each other for their own benefit or survival, for multiple reasons, which I'll get into. The big one, the Camarilla tends to have the strongest policies against the Caitiff explicitly, including outright exclusion, branding, and or extermination.
Not surprising.
Yeah! You thought it was just the Thin Bloods getting scourged? Nope.
Womp womp.
Womp womp. Many Caitiff in these territories have to play along with a system that would happily crush them, so if you're kind of... That's where a little content warning thing might come in, just depending on your player base, because, like, I've had to deal with having to exist in hostile, like, work systems and things like that. I'm cool. The thing is, like, I like playing games and characters where I have to deal with that kind of shit and going, like, haha, can I outsmart them?
Right.
That's fun for me. Other players, they might just be like, that's too close to home. I don't want to...
Right.
I don't want to deal with that. So, it might be worth a calibration check. With the spot does have room for the Caitiff who are willing to throw in with their lot. Some may see the Caitiff as the ultimate quote-unquote end goal for the War of Ages, of having just an amorphous, like, superior Cainite that is, like, void of all the flaws of the particular clans. Others may view the Caitiff as hardly more than tools and soldiers for the Gana War itself. They're just like, you're real useful, neat, throw.
Damn.
Yeah. The Spot is also the one sect that has some of the very few organized Caitiff factions within their ranks that have any kind of recognized rights.
Yeah, the Panders.
Yeah, the Panders.
They actually will not call themselves Caitiff. They insist that they are a real clan. They are their own clan, and they go by the term Panders. They're still the least liked amongst the Sabbat generally, but...
Yeah, well, you have, like, the loose Caitiff that will be in the Sabbat that are just super into the whole thing, and they're... Some of them are like, oh, no! And then you get the Panders, and they're their own thing.
In the older edition, it was more of all the Sabbat just called themselves Panders for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's a more modern thing, at least what I was getting from these books.
That's not how I was reading in the other books that I was saying.
This is there's even a theory in this book that someone puts, is that the Sabbat specifically treat them like a clan and calls them the Panders just so they get more cannon fodder, because they're still the bottom of the totem pole anyway. So it's like, yeah, you're people.
Rude.
Yeah.
We're still going to throw you into the meat grinder, but we'll give you a cool name before we do.
Yeah, so it's one of those, in the books I was reading, it was weird, because there was, like, to be a pander, you have to go through a specific rite to be a pander. And you could technically be of a bloodlined clan and go through the Rite and become a pander if you so desired.
That's probably just deeper lore than what's in this. Because this was saying that, like, any Caitiff, a ton of Caitiff were joining because they liked the idea of the panders and they just wanted to be one.
Yep.
They're just typically, if you were in the Sabbat as a Caitiff, you were called a pander. But it did specifically say that the blood rites might fuck up your ability to take on other clans, any abilities you want.
Yeah, there's a whole ritual about it. I found the ritual.
Oh, cool.
I found the ritual.
We'll get to that.
Yeah, I was saving the finer details of that for the history episode. We're going to touch on it a little bit when we get to the separate thing. Anyways, so with the Anarchs, they tend to be the more openly welcoming of the Caitiff, at least on the sects as I could see them within 5th edition. It's hard to say if the movement genuinely has this progressive of a policy or if they just need the bodies to survive what's going on. So they're not quite as bad as the Sabbat where it's like, oh, hey, fuck you, meat grinder. Or being like, yes, join my, I think it might be a cult, or
it's not a cult,
it's a freedom movement. It's not a freedom movement.
It's a freedom movement.
The Anarchs tend to be a little. It will depend on like what faction of the Anarch you're dealing with, but generally the Anarchs are a lot more like, hey, you're one of us, bro. Cool, whatever.
Yeah, this book specifically says that there is like a noticeable amount of Caitiff within the Anarchs, not because of the amount of Caitiff they are, but because that's pretty much where any of Caitiff who survive end up just going.
Yeah.
They're just like...
Because they'll actually accept them in any sort of manner.
As an organization, they do. It says specifically there are still individuals who will side-eye you anytime you walk in the room, but overall you can at least come in the room.
Right.
Yeah. And it's continued on in 5th Ed where, the Anarchs tend to be the most chill with the Caitiff and welcoming. How chill it's going to be is also just going to depend on like what city you're in, what faction you're in, who's all in the room.
Yeah.
But it's also left vague on the is the movement actually 10 toes down on what they're actually standing on? To be determined.
Probably not 10 toes down on anything.
To be determined.
Yeah.
Other than Theo Bell fucking ringing that hat.
So satisfying.
So satisfying.
Wish I could have been in there.
And then I actually got a note on the Ashira, which was neat. So the Ashira has allowed Caitiff in leadership positions on occasion, though they typically are relegated to enforcer roles within the wider organization. The alliance, though, with the Camarilla leaves the Caitiff that are dignitaries in this strange situation where they have to interact with the Camarilla, but the Camarilla doesn't recognize them as like full vampires, so you get some weird wonks.
Yeah.
It's also uncertain if the Ashira will maintain these policies while the alliance with the Camarilla continues.
Yeah.
So it's like...
I guess it would depend on how much pressure the Camarilla puts on them for it.
But the Ashira might have the leverage to push back with the whole like, hey buddy, you really need fighters.
Yeah. Why are you not accepting them?
Yeah, just like, it's like, we're not asking you to accept all of the Caitiff, just Joe over here.
Look how hard he punches things. Holds up a brick.
Mm-hmm. Little do they know the dignitary they're arguing with is also a Caitiff.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's one of those, like, at least from what I was able to read, the Ashira seems to be a lot better than the Camarilla insofar as, like, they're not trying to cull or execute the Caitiff. They still don't treat them with the same respect they give the other clans, but they are much more open to, oh, if you do the job, fuck it, you have the job?
I mean, that seems kind of their vibe anyway, right?
Kind of, yeah, generally. They're just kind of like, hey, do you show up, do you do the work, do you pay the taxes? You're not a Muslim? Okay, cool, yeah, I don't give a shit.
Right.
That's something that's...
It'd be cool if you were, but it's fine.
It's if you ever want to convert, we got you, boo.
Just come talk to us.
Yeah, but until then,
we are happy to help.
Until then, tax.
Tax.
That's actually a fun note in the Outcast book, is it talks about how the Giovanni will typically just hire them as enforcers, because it's like, you're vampires, you're probably tough, we'll pay you and you get a place to stay, and you're...
Which is also a very mafia thing to do.
Yeah,
yeah. We don't
like,
care where you're from.
Listen, you may not be Italian, but you can go bust some heads for us.
Yeah.
We'll still pay you.
Yeah, because...
It basically says as long as you do the job and get things done, they'll generally be nice to you.
Yeah, which is also like a very interesting thing because there's a lot of parallels I have found with like queer coding and a lot of like issues within like queer history that the Caitiff and also like with the Caitiff because historically it was very common for the mob to hire queer folks to run the gay bars. Because you know, a bar make money. We don't give a fuck where the money coming from, and for
but
many
they didn't want to be in it. I assume.
Yeah, and they're also like, well, I don't want to like dirty my hands by being in all the gay shit, so like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
hired Tony over here. Here's Big Gay
Right.
Tony. Big Gay Tony can like run the gay club.
Right, he's
with
not
all
in
the
his
fairies.
hands in the gay shit all the time.
Oh yeah. Well, he's what do they call it? What do they call him? A top? Okay, whatever that means. Is he the man?
Yeah, he's the man.
I don't know how those fairies run.
God damn it.
I've watched so
God
many old
fucking damn
movies
it.
dealing with queer shit. It's
The man.
it's weird how in a lot of older films there's so much more respectful of gay people, but they're using grandpa talk, so it doesn't sound like it at first.
Yeah.
But then when you translate it, you're like, actually,
Oh.
they're being so much more chill with gay people in the 30s than we are now. What the fuck? But yeah, I just find that funny and interesting. The Giovanni and by extension the Hakata would just be like, I mean, you doing a job? Cool, money. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You're not coming to family dinner.
We'll get into it next episode. There are some theories and talks about some of the other members who are now in the Hakata, but we can get to that later.
Yes.
But it would kind of make sense, so we'll
Yeah.
come back on that.
Yeah.
The other, since we were talking about big organizations, the only other one that I saw, this is from Outcast again, but it mentions the Akanu, and it doesn't go into detail. If you're getting into the deep lore and dealing with Akanu, interesting game. But
yeah.
also, it's specific. It doesn't give a lot of details. I do think it's interesting that it specifically says that this group of Methuselahs takes personal insult to the existence of the Caitiff. And that's all it says.
That's
Basically.
fascinating. We're gonna have to put a pin in that for the history episode.
I figure. I know exactly what that's leading into, but
Oh, yeah,
I'll
yeah.
leave that as a hint.
Oh yeah. We're leaving planting breadcrumbs.
I like bread.
I didn't know you could bread it. You could grow bread.
Yeah, just planting seeds.
Crumb like a seed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so unfortunately, those Caitiff who find a niche within the bigger sects tend to be referred to as sellouts and to be ostracized from the Caitiff and Thinbloods who have remained outside of the civil society. So you get that awkward double-edged sword where it's like, you found safety, but
then
now
all your pals are like, sell out.
Yeah, which also has some experiences that, like, I haven't dealt with, but, like, other friends of ours have had with, unfortunately some of our melanated friends when they enjoy the nerdy shit. I'm aware some of them had, like, when they go back, like, to home or the folks in their community, they're just like, why are you doing that white shit? And I'm like, you can just play D&D, man. It's fine. Like, which is, like, that's unfortunate. It sucks, because I love our black and brown friends being in the nerd space. They're fantastic. And they shouldn't be ostracized because they like anime.
Yeah.
No more than anyone else.
Right. But, yeah. So that was another kind of, like, an interesting, like, archetypical, like, parallel that I'm like, interesting. Because, like, goddamn, like, even within, like, the our music scene, I've had to deal with like weird ostracization because like I actually believe in the politics things that I talk about and will actually do things about it. And then have had weird sideways comments from folks being like, oh, you actually believe things. And I'm like, why are you being so snide about this?
Because nihilism.
Yeah, like nothing's ever gonna get fixed, man. I was like, yeah, with that shit fuck attitude, you pussy. Oh, you're actually a liberal. I'm offended you called me a liberal, for one.
That is rude.
Rude. Two. Are you gonna go to the food not bombs thing or what? No? Okay. Have fun being high alone in the house, I guess. Bye. So, that also stung as just like a thing for me to personally read and go, oh, woof. But yeah, this is also where I put the note of that. I couldn't find any notes about the Caitiff and the Ravnos, but like in V5, I feel like that's a very serious like plot thread that could be pulled really hard because there's just so many parallels between the two of them now. Except, the Caitiff don't just blow up.
Not yet.
You can technically, I guess, take a flaw if you so desired.
To blow up.
To always be blown up.
There is a flaw.
Got that gas.
Ooh, that gas in some of the older books that just lets you take another clan flaw anyway.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Like you can choose to have one.
Yeah.
In character creation. The character themselves probably is not choosing, but
No, but you as the player can put that together and go, haha, little suffer puppet, let's go.
Yeah,
so
that's
you
kinda
could
cool.
still look like a Nosferatu, but for some reason you've got like dementation.
So
Or you look like a Nosferatu, but you have all the powers of a Toreador.
Yep.
How unfortunate.
Oh,
It would still work though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oddly.
speaking of being built different but wrong, being built different but wrong.
Hey!
Ayo! Oh, so some of the Caitiff find their situation grants them unique powers or uses of their abilities. For some of the Caitiff, this can lead to a deep sense of self-loathing or a deep self-grandeur.
Yay.
Which that was some fun stuff to read through. The fluff was like a lot of Caitiff just being like self-loathing and just like, I'm broken and fucked up. I don't know why I'm like this. I'm like double damned. And then other ones where they're just like, actually, I'm closer to Cain than you'll ever be. You're
That's
lucky
great.
to be in my presence.
Damn.
Welcome to the future, old man.
Damn.
And I'm like, oh, you guys are a level of crazy that I was not ready for, and I'm kind of here for this.
Yeah.
Also, when we get to the history episode, it gets interesting.
It does! Because some of it kind of validates the grandeur kind of way that you're like, oh, no. Yeah, so that was kind of one of those, neat, you can go a couple of different ways with this. So you don't have to be the saddest boy on the block.
You can also be like a terrifying...
Oh, you could be Delulu as all hell. If you want to go full Nicholas Holt, Lex Luthor with your Caitiff, with the energy of I would steal 40 cakes when no one's looking, you can absolutely do that. I'm sorry. I did see the Superman movie a couple of weeks ago. I fucking loved it. It was very good.
Everyone loves it, seemingly.
And I'm just like, this is one of my favorite interpretations of Lex Luthor I've seen in a hot minute, where I'm just like, oh, this man wants the Superman cookie, and he just will not admit it, and it's so good. Anyways, the Caitiff also have those who dedicate themselves to studying vitae, vampire history, and become kind of occultic experts in their own right, in an attempt to understand themselves.
I was about to say, I totally get that.
Oh yeah, it'd be really cool to be like, all right, guys, you're in a city and you gotta like, you found a weird occultic artifact, and everybody's like, shit, we gotta go talk to the Tremere. I'm like, no, we don't.
Yeah.
No, we don't.
We know a Caitiff.
We
Hold
know
on.
a guy. I know a guy. He's
We
this
gotta
guy-
leave the city. He's not allowed here.
Yeah. No. He owns this pawn shop just like on the outskirts of town, and it's just full of like weird oddities and bullshit.
Yes. Yes. I love him.
I love him already. He's so good. Yeah, where else? Okay. Others may implode under the constant hatred and pressure with that they live under. Some may become anxiety-riddled doormats. Other Caitiff may twist themselves into becoming the very monsters the other vampires whisper about constantly.
Cool.
Some may become chameleons so far to the point of dissociating and losing touch of who they actually are anymore.
It says that tends to happen to the ones who do just, like, run off into the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they literally, like, become like animals.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So like a white, but not quite. Still
But
aware of
with-
themselves.
Might still have humanity.
Yeah.
The aware of themselves is questionable, but
Yeah.
it's very vague, but it is
Okay.
terrifying.
It's terrifying, and I also think there's like a terror and also just the having to mask so hard that you start to lose touch with yourself and like who you actually are, and you just get really delulu with it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's also just like
Yeah.
the personal horror of just I'm pretending to be this other person so often. I think I'm just this other person now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Imagine pretending to be straight. No. My version of this was I spent 10 years pretending to be a Christian. Because fun fact, when I moved to the US full time, I did not believe in God. I decided that was not a thing. Moved to the Bible Belt, where it seemed to be everybody's only interactions with each other outside of school was church.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not go to church, so I was constantly lying to everybody for a decade about which church I went to, so I wouldn't get outed. And I was like, yeah, the Bible. Yep. Mm-hmm. I know what a Veggie Tale is.
Veggie Tales, Veggie Tales, Veggie Tales, Veggie Tales.
Do you know what's a weird fact I learned the other day? None of the Veggie Tales go to heaven.
It's because they don't have souls because they're veggies.
Yeah, the company that funded the creation of Veggie Tales specifically said that they couldn't be shown going to heaven because that would imply that vegetables have souls, and that would be
Confusing and shit to children.
no, not even that it would be
Like sacrilegious?
yes.
Fucking wild.
So that's
So-
why the Veggie Tales never actually go to heaven.
The true and like base lesson of Veggie Tales is not like, anything about God's love or
Being good to your neighbor.
being good to your neighbor. The true thing is, despite how much these little veggies love and talk about God and promote God, they don't get any sort of anything. Poor
Yeah.
little guys.
I feel bad for them because it's also like, but they're sentient.
Yeah, right. They're sentient, but
They
they
have
don't
a
have
whole
souls.
song about the hairbrush.
Right.
That's about the extent I know about that episode, by the way. I just know that the cucumber sings about a hairbrush.
Yep. Well, it's a peach at first.
Is it a peach?
Yeah, I think so.
it
No,
was
maybe
later.
the
I thought it was
peach
the
stole the
cucumber.
cucumbers. Yeah, I think the peach took it.
I remember a song about a buffalo.
There's a song about a
Yeah.
buffalo?
A water buffalo.
Yeah.
I didn't. Yeah, I had to fake understanding what VeggieTales was during that 10-year stretch by picking up things about VeggieTales through cultural osmosis.
I don't remember the song, but I remember there is a song about a water buffalo.
Well, everyone's got a water buffalo. Yours is fast, but mine is slow. Oh, where did we get them? I don't know, but everyone's got a water buffalo.
I love this is default.
Hell yeah.
It's talking about VeggieTales. I love this job.
This is why you're here. This is the good content
yeah, this is why
you
you
come
pay
to
us
Blank
money.
Bodies for.
There are also reports that some Caitiff can sense how truly, quote-unquote, wrong they are.
What?
Yeah. Either they find the signs coming from themselves, or, more horrifyingly, they can hear the whispers coming from inside their own blood.
See, I didn't see that in any of what I was reading.
Yeah.
Hear the whispers coming soon.
Yeah, they can hear something from inside of them going, "You're fucked up."
This is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You're the wrong son.
Which wrong son died. There also could be, the blood just going, you're actually chosen by Cain. You have work to do. You could go full
Any direction with
coconuts with this.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was some stuff I was reading where I was like, oh, okay, there's some fucking gas in this tank with the Caitiff now in a way that's like, oh, fuck,
A lot
okay.
cooler.
That's really cool.
Like, after reading this, I would probably put them up there in, like, one of my top, 4 favorite clans. They get so weird and interesting.
Yeah.
That was part of the struggle with writing the vibes thing, because the Caitiff are very choose your own adventure.
I'll talk about this. I'm saving the end of the episode to bring this up. But they're very much written as this is the fill in the blank. Here is a clan you can kind of do whatever you want with. Like, they already can take any disciplines.
Yeah.
And their lore is very open-ended. It's kind of for STs and players to be like, well, I had an idea that doesn't work for anything else. Here's a clan you can put it in.
Right.
With the cost being, like, you're a social pariah.
No one likes you.
Which is a pain in the ass in the social combat game. So, embrace. There is a common belief amongst vampires that the Caitiff are all mistakes or corruptions of embrace. That's just a common myth, because vampires are just like, oh yeah, if a Caitiff ever happens, it's just because, like, the embrace went wrong.
Right.
Not true. Caitiff are completely capable of doing an embrace, producing either more of a true bloodline, or creating a unique Caitiff.
Interesting.
So, if you're a Caitiff, but you're the Caitiff that's just like, you just don't know which clan you actually belong to, if you embrace somebody as that kind of Caitiff, you're just gonna produce a Toreador, or a Bruja, or a Minister. But if you're, like, a true Caitiff where your blood's fucked up, you're just gonna make another one where you're just like, oh, I'm also just a weird little guy.
That's
You're
cool.
Completely capable of that. So I'm just
That's
like,
cool.
So that's one horrifying way to force a Caitiff to be like, let's find out what clan you are. Embrace this person.
Oof.
Which, if you're a storyteller, you want to do something very evil.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah, Prince is like, well, this Caitiff's been a pain in my ass, and I want to vet if this guy's actually a Caitiff or not. Bring him to court.
Here's a guy.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
It's the touchstone of one of your other players.
Oof.
There you go, guys. Have one of the more horrifying scenes you can have at a table.
Or you have a player that's been working hard to get permission to sire.
And it's
And
the
then,
person that they were scouting.
And then,
Yeah.
oh, looks like you made a Caitiff.
Damn.
That can take a while to figure out depending on your clan. And that is a funny borderline joke in one of the books. I believe it was Outcast.
Yeah.
But it talks about how it's easiest for them to... It specifically says, if you can take a passable photograph, you can pretend to be a Toreador for weeks. And no one will know.
Yeah, that's... See, that shit's why for the LARP, when I first joined, and it was different city than we're in now for our Gen Con LARP, I was like, I want to play a Tremere, and they're like, you can't play a Tremere, they're banned in the city. And I'm like, listen, dog, I really fucking like Tremere. I'm happy to play the game on hard mode. I'll pretend to be another clan. Like, okay, cool. What other clan do you want to pretend to be? And I said Toreador, and they're like, what? Why wouldn't you want to pretend to be Venture? Those match your Tremere disciplines more. And I'm like, the Venture keep very detailed records on who's embraced and whose childer is who and what bloodline they come from. No! I'm not gonna go to the Narc clan.
Yeah.
No, I go hang out with the weird artistic assholes that don't keep records, and if I'm just kind of whimsical enough, one of them will snatch me and be like, "You're cool."
Yeah. Fair.
And that's pretty much what happens.
I do think it's interesting. It specifically says that what the Toreador and the clans that hate the Caitiff like the most And part of me wonders if, because they're Holbein, we talked about them already.
Yeah.
So like they're like basically artists who are losing their passion and their ability to actually create. At the end of the day, what is the difference between a Toreador and just a Caitiff pretending to be a Toreador?
Fucking rude.
I'm just gonna set
Fucking rude.
The
I'm gonna
Caitiff
set-
might even be a better artist.
Fucking
I'm
rude.
I'm gonna
So
post.
good.
I'm gonna post a thing now in the goddamn Discord chat. Sorry, Hunter, for the editing issue.
That was my takeaway anyway. It specifically says they don't like them, and it talks about how easy it is to pretend to also be them. And so mine was
Yeah.
like, oh, that's just because like they're jealous
Well,
at the
it's
end
like
of the day.
one, the
Right.
Toreador are known for like not liking posers as it is, and then a Caitiff rolling in wearing a Toreador suit
Mm-hmm.
and being like, "Ah, yes, I am an artiste."
Right.
It gives very much that episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia where Frank is pretending to be the gallery critic.
Oh, yeah.
What? I love that episode. It's so good. All right. Why no? I fucking hate my phone sometimes. Can I tell you all that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I fucking hate my phone sometimes. There we go. Good luck deciphering that, fans. I posted an art meme, which is extra funny because the art is the meme, but is also accurate for this description.
Now I have to go.
Now you have to go look at the page on chat. See, this is the fun of when you pay us money, you get to get the little inside jokes in the Patreon Elysium chat. Usually these chuckle fucks are the ones posting pictures in it, but I was like, I have a joke now, and I've just realized I am a dick. I like Marcel Duchamp. I'm sorry, they're one of my favorite artists.
I'm minimizing Discord now. I'm gonna go back to deck building. You guys can finish the episode.
No! Okay, so continue with the episode. I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay.
Anyways, so given that Caitiff are capable of embracing, those who are choosing to embrace, God, Hunter balanced it out, thank God.
Yep.
So, those Caitiff who do embrace, they try to choose mortals who are strong-willed, accustomed to hardship, or are underdogs that tend to draw the eye of the clan. So, they're just like, if a Caitiff is choosing to embrace on purpose, they're usually trying to scout a guy that they know can handle the bullshit.
Right.
Because they're just like, I'm giving you Vampire on hard mode. Which is a lot of what Caitiff play is. It's like, you're playing Vampire on hard mode.
Yeah.
So they're just like, it would be fucked up of me to grab somebody who is just not gonna cut it. So,
Right.
so yeah, like playing guys who are just kind of like misanthropes, characters that are used to being overworked, characters who thrive in like very stressful situations.
Retail employees.
Yeah, just your average barista would do so good as a Caitiff.
Right.
I thought one kind of interesting thing of note, it says that some Caitiffs will specifically seek out people who have been like the victim of abuse
Yes.
and that sort of thing, because it's like, here you go, you have the power to flip it on them. Have fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's like, it's one of those, that's going to also depend on your player's comfort levels
Yeah,
and your
table
table.
off for sure.
If that even shows up in a character to begin with.
Yeah, because it's like, that's a trope that I do enjoy playing out, but I understand some of those themes are really heavy and not fun for people. But I'm like, if you want to do the Crow TM,
Yeah. Fucking cool.
fucking, this is perfect.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be that specific kind of abuse when I say
No.
abuse, but I mean, it could be like you get your ass beat a lot
Yeah.
Oh, so
by bullies.
you know
Yeah.
the Tim Burton Batman with their interpretation of Catwoman?
Yeah.
Yeah. Where she gets shoved out the window and then the cats make her a horny villain.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just replace the cats with just a random Caitiff in an alleyway who's like digging through the bins and was just
And
like,
fell out of
Yeah.
fucking. You were defenestrated, and he was
Yeah.
like, "Oh shit,
shit.
that's fucked up. Hey, go get him."
Yeah, just, hey, that's fucked up. You good, ma'am?
Another note that I thought was really cool, actually,
Mm-hmm.
for Caitiff was that some of them, because one of the theories is you get turned and then just left alone, and so there's no one to teach you, and so you end up developing weird. But one of them, it says some Caitiff are literally just being fed on, like they are being fed on until they die. But their survival instinct kicks in and they just bite the vampire back and get enough blood from them in that bite that it turns into an embrace.
That's so
I love
funny.
that so much.
I need that to be somebody's embrace story. It was
Right?
just like, yeah, this, like I was on a date and like, it got really weird and it felt great, but then I also realized I was dying and I was just scrabbling to do anything to not die. So I bit him. And then that also felt fantastic, so I just kept biting him.
And he kept biting me. I don't really. It was kind of a weird
It's just kind of like
circle thing going
yeah,
on.
we're just going back and forward with it. So we're dating now. So yeah. No one's
Goes to
gonna
the
ever.
confessional booth. Yeah, so I accidentally embraced my boyfriend. I got kind of carried away, you see, I kind of entered like a hunger frenzy and was gonna eat him to death, and then he bit me, and it was just kind of cool. So
I thought that was pretty cash money of him. In fact.
yeah, so I figured we'd just keep dating.
Why are you in the booth?
Yeah.
Why are you in my booth?
How are you allowed in there?
Oh yeah, that's my bad.
That's holy ground.
It's not. This church doesn't have true faith in it.
Yeah,
Okay,
whatever.
that's
That's
fair.
fine.
I mean, not all churches do.
Yeah. So, just the priest on the other side of the box going, "What?" The
That'd be funny to be a human Christian who's just like, oh yeah, I just try and take my vampire friend to church, and if he's allowed in, I know it's not the church for me.
Fucking rude.
fucking rude. That's how I'm vetting these churches.
I'm using a vampire as a god detector.
You know what? Fuck it. I just got the caitiff who's studying the occult and is like, you know what? This is actually kind of, fuck it.
That would be a fucked up moment for a hunter game or
Oh.
a Second Inquisition game where you're like hunting a vampire group of vampires and then they come in your church and you're like, what are you doing here? Wait a minute, why are you able to come in here? Oh no.
I thought vampires couldn't go to church, and then the guy just smiles really broadly.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you don't know. Oh, this is
Fantastic.
fun. The doors close behind the hunters.
Yes.
They're just like, I didn't know he could do that. It's like, oh, there's a lot of things I can do.
Really stupid South Park joke, but it just reminds me of that episode where they're in heaven and like, oh, you're not Mormon? Sorry, you picked the wrong one. In South Park, I believe it's canon that only Mormons go to heaven.
Only Mormons go to heaven in South Park.
Not World of Darkness, but it's something along that lines. So if there's a type of Christianity you really hate, just don't give them truth faith. Take that.
Take that.
That's why you get Presbyterians.
Why the Presbyterian?
That's the first one I could
Oh,
remember.
okay, I was just like, what the fuck did they do to you specifically? Like, I have beef with evangelicals, but like, I feel like that's fair at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. So-
No, I just picked one. If you're Presbyterian, I have nothing against you specifically. But my character, who I was inventing, does.
Hilarious. So there is a bunch of mixed messaging in all of the text. Surprising no one, you should have caught on to that during this entire episode.
That Sarah and I have not been
On the same page.
contradicting each other
the entire time. It's been a nightmare.
It's kind of fun.
So there's a bunch of mixed messaging, with some of the Caitiff seeing their lot as an omen of the end times, and others seeing themselves as quote-unquote the true vampires, like the only actual ones. And here's a small list of various conspiracy theories or actual facts. You decide if this is in your game. Some Caitiff think that Cain's very blood is trying to correct the errors of his wayward grandchilder. So that's why Caitiff happen, is just the power of Cain occasionally just pops up and goes, no!
I like it.
Which is kind of metal.
Yeah.
All Caitiff are the spawn of the second generation that, like, you know how there's, like, X amount of second gens that Cain made, and then those made the other antediluvians?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some random second gen that's been lost to history, and that's where all the Caitiff come from.
Huh.
And because that second gen and their grandchilder didn't do the crime, that's why they don't have a clan bane.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah!
Yeah.
Which, considering how many random archaeological things just keep popping up in the World of Darkness canon, that's also a super viable option.
Yeah, absolutely.
All Caitiff are the spawn of Lilith,
Oh.
which is why they have weird fucked up powers.
Yeah.
Or there's some influence, because in the book, I'll deal with this in the history episode, but Cain did have some of Lilith's blood, and therefore yada 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 Bahari stuff.
Yada 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 Bahari stuff.
That's
you
how
do.
I run my games too.
Yeah. We'll get into that in the history episode.
Bahari.
The Caitiff
talk
are
about
technically the next phase of vampire existence, and then all vampires are going to become Caitiff.
Oh.
Which is why the olds are pushing so hard to be like, no, I don't want it. Yeah.
I don't like it. It's not me.
Yeah. Some believe that the Caitiff are the heralds of the Gehenna. So it's like, because there's been a massive uprising in the population of the Caitiff, that is one of the big, like, we checked the box, we got the bingo. God is here, we're all dead, hurrah. There's also a bunch of other options that are just like theories in the canon and also shit you can make up for your game. There's a lot of options.
I like options.
Yeah, it's good and bad. So bloodlines of interesting and subcultures. I'm specifically mentioning the Panders because the Caitiff are so fucking weird.
Yeah.
They don't really have like a separate bloodline. The closest thing is the Panders. So these are basically the Caitiff anti-tribu, big air quotes. You can't really be anti-tribu if you don't have a clan. Technically, but that's
Good
being
luck.
pedantic.
But they do give themselves their own specific name and do stuff to change their abilities, so
Yeah.
they fall into the fucking
So
category.
it's like, so they Uno refers to the, we're not in a clan, fuck you, we're making our own micro clan with blackjack and hookers. That's not wrong, that's kind of what happened.
Yeah.
We'll get into it a little bit more detailed in the history episodes, but basically a pander is the term, pander is used as the term for the caitiff, brackets derogatorily. In most cases, like, even in the cam, sometimes if somebody really wants to be a dickhead to a caitiff, they'll just call them a pander. Because the panders are kind of known to be, like, psychos from the spot. Yeah,
Rude.
so that's rude. But this stems from the pander movement started by Joseph Pander after the Third Spot Civil War. Details next episode. But basically, the rough you need to know about them is they're not they're technically a bloodline, but kind of not really. Basically, they have to go through a Sabbat Rite to become a pander, and then you basically are part of the Joseph Pander Club.
Joseph Pender Club.
Yeah, so it's like, it's a bloodline in, like, the strictest sense of what a bloodline could be, and it's also such a new phenomenon, technically, in the timeline of vampire, that what the ramifications of this actually is, who the fuck knows, and who can say at this point. I think it's only been going around since, like, it's either the 1950s or the 1970s. I'm not remembering right now. I want to say the 1950s.
Especially in vampire timelines, this is
So short.
literally brand new.
This literally just happened.
Yeah.
So it's,
Sorry, I bumped the mic there.
you're good. It's kind of the continual problem I have with the Caitiff is a lot of their deep history is super vague, very contradictory, and then because there's so few Caitiff in the historical record, there's just not a lot of info until like the 20th century, and then there's a fuckload of info, and I'm just like, oh, next episode's gonna be interesting. Anywho, disciplines. Who wants to read about the disciplines for our boys?
Caitiff characters have access to 3 disciplines of your choice following the embrace. These are not considered in-clan for the purposes of experience cost, and the Caitiff can learn any discipline at the same price, assuming they taste the blood of a wielder at least once and fulfill the standard conditions for that discipline. So they can pick literally whatever. If you wanted, you could do like, I want Celerity, Obfuscate, and Oblivion.
Yep, you're like,
Oh, that's
cool.
a scary combo.
Yeah. Hi, do you see what the horrifying thing is now?
Yeah, I love it.
It's given.
I want to play
That-
more Caitiff.
That's been one of my ideas for the bonus episode.
Yeah, this Oops All Caitiff.
We just make we just spend the bonus episode making a horrifying Caitiff.
We make one, or we each propose our own scary.
We'll figure it out.
Okay.
We'll
I like
figure it
it.
out, because I feel like giving a demonstration of just like how actually fucked this can get
Yeah,
might be good.
yeah,
Yeah.
I like it.
So, I want to read the follow up.
Yes. But I was also going to
Yes,
say,
what's up?
one thing I saw in the lore that was interesting was because there's usually no one to train them, the disciplines that they develop tends to be like related to like the vampire media or like the occult media they had access to in life.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's just kind of what they
Huh.
think like magic or vampires are, and so that's kind of what they turn into.
Interesting.
That may not be
Yeah.
true, but that's I believe a Tremir's theory on what's going on with them.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
So
they
that-
think they know what a vampire is, and so these fools
Just
turn
kind
into
of-
some kind of mess of.
Right. Huh.
For that whole nature versus nurture question.
Yeah.
That the Caitiff are constantly bringing to the table narratively.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
But further, to improve one of the disciplines of a caitiff costs 6 times the level purchased in experience points, as opposed to the standard 5 times for in-clan disciplines and 7 times for out-of-clan. So everything's 6. There is no out-of-clan, so you're right in the middle between both.
Yep.
Yeah.
So everything costs extra, but nothing costs 7.
Yeah. So,
So it's
you're
a-
not. So you don't get stuck with the expensive problem, but everything is like slightly more expensive.
You'll probably end up building wide.
Mm-hmm. You might build wide instead of tall,
Right.
unless for some reason you really want to build tall.
I mean, it would be kind of easier to build tall too, though, right? Because it's 6, especially if you would be going like an out of clan route,
Mm-hmm.
like I don't know, a Toreador that wanted potence.
Yeah.
You could still have the same stat line as a Toreador, but then grab potence and go tall with it.
Yeah.
And you can still get starting disciplines in the same way.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's like rules set. There's like notes for the Caitiff in both the core book and in In Memoriam if you're building Caitiff characters on
Mhm.
like the slight changes you need to do. So yeah, I'm starting to think the bonus episode might be we have to walk through building a Caitiff.
That's cool.
So,
I like this.
Heyo.
Question for you though. 'Cause
Yeah.
this used to be a thing in the old edition. I don't think it's from what I read in V5.
Mhm.
To learn disciplines after character creation,
Mhm.
if they aren't, I believe in the old edition, if it wasn't one of the 3 you picked initially, you had to get blood from someone of that clan to advance that discipline.
It's one of 2 options for 5th ed. So
Okay.
either you need to have access to Vitae from somebody who would have that. So if you're boosting disciplines that are in clan for you, it's cheaper and it's in your lane. Don't worry about it, you're fine. If you're doing out of clan, you either need to get Vitae from somebody whose clan would know this discipline, so that player or that character doesn't need to know it. It just needs to be in their blood. Or you need to spend the time resonance farming and making sure you're feeding off of the resonance of people that match the discipline that's out of clan that you're getting.
Oh, okay.
Which for some characters there might be some synergies that make that a little easier.
Mm-hmm.
I'm tired, so my brain's not wanting to do things. So if you have a discipline that already takes
Is it Bloodhound that you can?
there's Bloodhound Merit that makes it easier for you to fish that out, but you can also like cut deals with other players. You can find somebody from the circulatory system.
Right.
You can, there's tons of ways you can go around this. But if you have a discipline that already has you drinking caloric blood, it's going to be easier. You should have the narrative access to unlock buying disciplines that also already use caloric.
Right.
Which is how narratively and mechanically we're explaining how the predator types give you stuff. So yeah, with the Caitiff, because you can kind of pick disciplines, and then if you want to double down on a discipline that's already in your predator type, you can build a pretty stacked character like straight out of the gate, and then only focus on buying wide from there.
Right.
Which again is also like, oh buddy, what? Ooh,
You a strong lad.
you strong, and the combo of things you've picked were wild. So Clan Banes, who wants to read that one?
Suspect. Oh, yeah, okay, sorry, I was... Suspect. Untouched by the antediluvians, the Caitiff share no common bane. Caitiff characters begin with the suspect, flaw, and you may not purchase positive status for them during character creation. Ooh. The storyteller may always impose 1 or 2 dice penalty on social tests against fellow kindred who know they are Caitiff, regardless of their eventual status. So if you could figure out somehow a way to become a prince as a Caitiff, you could still get a -2 dice pool to fucking anybody.
Yep.
Damn.
Pain in the ass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the older books also talk about that technically Caitiff princes are fairly common, but mainly because a lot of them have to leave the big cities, and so they'll end up in taking small towns or suburbs that other vampires don't, and they'll just get a group of Caitiff together and be like, all right, I'm prince. So there's a lot of Caitiff princes of small little.
They might not be recognized by the cam, but they have claimed a little.
Yeah,
section.
that's kind of what I was trying to say earlier with the burnt out Caitiff that kind of fuck off and go do their own thing.
Yeah,
they'll just vibe in their own lane wherever that is, and they may purposefully or on accident end up building a power base and actually being a political contender, and no one has a fucking idea.
Right.
And then they go, oh shit.
How many Caitiff does he have living in that town?
Yeah. So, or it's one Caitiff, Baron.
Yeah.
3 other Caitiffs, and then just a gaggle of Thin Bloods.
Right. Oof.
Yeah, which is also just oh no. Clan Compulsion, there isn't one. If you're gonna randomly roll on that compulsion table for if somebody has beast fail, it says specifically on that table if you're a Caitiff or a Thin Blood and you get the Clan Compulsion, you gotta roll that again. So I'm oh, sick, love that. Clan Coterie Merits, who wants to do this one? It's in the player's guide if anybody wants to check this out.
I'll do this one.
Yeah.
Versatile Vitae. A walking example of unshackled blood, the Caitiff's versatility is almost contagious. Once per session, the Caitiff can influence a coterie member with their malleability, enabling them to use a discipline power they do not possess, as long as they have the discipline levels and other prerequisites for it, for the duration of the scene. So essentially, you have to have the dots in the ability, but say you get 1 level 2 ability for your discipline. For a scene, they can give you the ability to use the other one that you didn't pick, right? Am I reading that right?
You're reading that wrong. So basically...
They have to be able to use it.
The Caitiff has to be able to use it.
Yes.
Not the person they're giving the ability to. Okay.
Yeah, so it's if the Caitiff has awe and, your fucking Gangrel doesn't, but your Gangrel is unfortunately in a negotiation for some fucking reason, then Caitiff can be like, oh, hey, buddy, remember that thing that I told you about where, you just like smile and then they get their awe or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
This is worded so oddly. I don't like...
Yeah, it's part of the problem is that there's just a lot of use of the gender neutral pronouns. You're not quite sure which they're referring to, whether it's the party member getting it or the caitiff.
It should say as long as the target or as long as the caitiff have the discipline levels or other prerequisites. One or the other would even, you could keep it gender neutral and just say the target or the caitiff there. Because saying as long as they have the discipline levels or other prerequisites could mean either.
Yeah. So it could mean as long as, because I interpreted this two ways, which is one is as long as the caitiff has the discipline dots and everything, they can just share their disciplines amongst the party once per session, which is wild.
Yeah, very cool.
Very cool. Or the more horrifying one, which is... and I think fucking massively OP, because I was very tired when I read this, and my first interpretation was, as long as the target has disciplines cracked at that level, the caitiff could just, like, temporarily, like, click a discipline on they don't have temporarily, like, nobody else has it, where it's, like, the situation where the gangrel's, for some reason, doing the negotiation, and the caitiff is like, shit, I know what would solve this problem. Click, and the gangrel like feels kind of funny, and then they're just like really popular for like 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And then it goes away, and they're just like, the fuck?
That'd be cool. I mean, I think that's how it is.
Yeah.
Right? But then the caitiff has to have access.
That's the thing is, my second interpretation is the caitiff doesn't have to have it.
Oh,
It's
no,
the
I
way-
think
it's
it
the
does
way
have to have access.
The other way would be
Yeah.
the way I said it. And I don't know, that's a weird one. We might have to...
That might be a talk to the table to confirm how you're running this, but I feel like both of those are cool, super useful, and terrifying narratively, depending on how you want to run it. So,
I don't know. It's just, the more I read it, the more it gives me a headache. So
moving on. Caitiff merits and flaws. There's a whole section in the player's guide between pages 126 and 128 of specific merits and flaws that you can take now as a caitiff that are like unique to your clan. I hope I said that with enough of a question mark. So I did not want to list all of them. We'd be here all day. I just picked two that I thought were like particularly metal. So John, want to read the first one?
Yeah.
The merit.
Merit, Mark of Cain. It's 2 dots. You bear a mark, either physical or spiritual, that gives other vampires a pause. Camarilla and Ashira vampires look on your mark with fear, while anarchs claim to respect you for playing with elder superstition, but they don't look at your mark too closely either. Even Sabbat Cainites hesitate to tangle with you, though particularly religious naughtists might target you for special attention. You gain 2 bonus dice on any attempt to intimidate, bully, or cow other vampires who subscribe to the myth of Cain. Anyone attempting to commit diablerie on you cannot add their blood potency to the roll, and any failure to their roll results in a bestial failure. Damn.
Yeah. Or it's the no snack, no bite.
Yeah.
No bite. I got the no bite sticker.
I like it.
It's a banana. Banana sticker, no bite.
No.
Dad said no.
Listen, if you bite me, you can't have this banana sticker.
we'll get more into it, but that kind of
fucking rules.
and it might confirm some things.
It kind of confirms some things.
Kind of confirms some theories.
Yeah.
But the other is flaw, word scarred. Your body or a portion of it is covered in ancient text of vampiric lore. Perhaps your sire inscribed them upon you, or they appeared on their own after the embrace. Either way, shadow forces conspire to use or destroy this lore. The major occult foe or force in the chronicle often interferes in your life, seeking to imprison, cleanse, mind wipe, blood bond, or otherwise neutralize you. They would never lower themselves to recruit a caitiff. Don't be silly. You're just a lost, disobedient book to them. Maybe 2 such forces fight over the right to edit you. Any other character who reads the full text on your skin learns a terrible secret regarding Gehenna, Nada's prophecy, Pahari mysteries, or the like. You and the storyteller may decide this together, or it may be a mystery to you.
I love it.
That's sick.
It's
I
so
really,
metal.
really like that.
It's so metal. It's like, you get embraced, suddenly it's like, you have the sacred scroll upon your thigh, and you're like,
Right.
what?
What sacred scroll?
I just run a bakery. This is bullshit.
I like the idea that it like slowly like is inscribed upon you over time. It's not like, oh, it just shows up overnight. Like it starts off as like a couple symbols, and it just slowly grows like up your leg and across your body as the chronicle goes.
I hate the phrase of people fighting to edit you.
Yeah, I hate that.
I hate that.
I hate
like, what does that mean?
But also,
What do you mean?
on that note, like Book of Blood.
Yeah, exactly.
Love that. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm just like, guys, there's some really cool things you can do with these characters.
Yeah.
I wish this was highlighted more.
It's
fine. It's fine. That's what we're here for. And then Blood Ties, the Gehenna War. These merits cannot be accessed by the Caitiff or Thin Blood characters due to their blood not forming a cohesive enough group for the use of these merits.
Neat.
Fair enough.
So it's one of those. I wanted to add that because I thought there was an interesting juxtaposition between the player's guide that, if you understand the meta plot and then some stuff that we're going to talk about in the history episode, they're really heavily hinting at a bunch of shit that you're like, that's cool. And then the Gehenna War book, they're like, they're still not a clan though. So no, you can't do the blood tie merits where they're specifically clan related merits. And I'm just like,
no.
I'm like, what does that mean? What the fuck? So
each Caitiff is an individual among himself.
Each Caitiff is an island, truly. So we got through the vibes. How are we feeling about the Caitiff?
I'm in. I like it. I want to do it. I want to play a game. I want to be a Caitiff. I already played a Caitiff, I guess.
You did, kinda.
But I mean, like, I feel like he masked so well as a Brujah that it wasn't too much of a challenge.
No, not really. You were doing a very good job as playing the vampirate.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you had tentacles.
Yeah.
And everybody went, okay,
Wait,
so he's a Lasombra.
what the fuck?
Oh, there's the initial, what the fuck? And everyone's like, okay, why was this Lasombra pretending to be a Brujah? That's weird.
I'm like, yeah, I'm a Lasombra.
Got me.
Totally.
Yar.
Yar. Anyway, I'm gonna go off into the floodlands and up the UP. Bye.
Yeah, I gotta unbury some of my treasure because I gotta pay for a bunch of land I just bought. You're just like, yeah, I got liquid assets. Gets on the boat, sails the fuck off, and I'm like,
I love that was actually a thing that we had planned too.
Yeah, we had to do that
Yep.
for a period of time.
Yep.
It's like, oh god. Look, sometimes when a player is like, hey, I got this idea of this other character I want to play, you don't have to end the chronicle.
Nope.
You could just have the character fuck off for a bit.
Yeah, he can just leave.
Yeah, there's nothing. He's busy.
Listen, he bought an entire dockyard.
Yeah.
He's got to pay that loan off.
That is so much money for like a modern dark. Oh my god, he has to unbury so much treasure.
Yes. He's got to go up to Chicago. It's going to be a whole fucking mess.
It's going to be a whole thing. But yeah.
Gary. Sorry, it was in Gary.
Yeah.
Because we were in Chicago.
Yes.
And that was going to be a not fun time.
No.
Because that was Sabat. Right? Which one was
Anna,
Sabat recently?
Detroit.
Thank you. I mixed it.
That's
yeah,
okay.
It was all in Detroit. Because we were going to have to go deal with that.
It's fine. You guys are fine. Don't worry about it.
But it's fine. He went and did that by himself.
Yeah, he had a side quest.
He's probably fine. He had an axe, and he liked that axe.
That was his favorite axe.
It was his favorite axe.
So, I have one thing I want to add.
Yeah.
I have a feeling it's not going to come up at all in history, just from what I've read about it.
Yeah.
So, and I think most of the discussion fits better in this episode. So I've been kind of holding my tongue, but I think this is a good throw it at the end. This is for the brave and the experienced only. But specifically in the old book, the Outcast book, one of the abilities that it gives the Caitiff is terrifying.
Oh,
absolutely
fantastic.
And it shows up nowhere else. And they actually, I think you could argue they go out of their way to retcon it in the later books.
Oh, sick. What do we got?
If you just want to read what that says right there by my middle finger.
Creating new disciplines.
Yes, so the Caitiffs used to be able to develop new discipline powers that no other vampires have had before. And it gives you an example of a new discipline power of kineticism, so being able to control kinetic energy. Shows up nowhere but this book.
So you get to become...
Gambit.
Yes, thank you. My brain deleted his name immediately.
That's okay. No. I like it.
But yeah, so that's just an example one. It doesn't give you a good, they're more expensive than regular disciplines, I believe, but you can, with your ST, design your own disciplines as a Caitiff. So if you want to do that in V5, just be, like I said, you have to be ready to do the work and have players you trust. That is a possibility.
Honestly, I think it'd be kind of cool for a Caitiff to develop their own discipline, and that would be their out of clan. Like, they actually have to pay out
the
of clan
7,
prices
yeah.
for it.
That would probably be my balance point on that.
Yeah.
Would be like,
That'd be a cool way to do that. I like that.
if you want to do that, it's gonna be 7.
Yeah, and I mean, you could flavor it with fluff as like, you know, the blood of Cain has not learned this yet. It has not been developed, but you are like pulling it out of that blood.
Dad thinks it's cool.
Yeah, Dad thinks it's cool, so you can get it going, but you got to figure it out yourself, bud. Yeah. Which would even play more into that, like, no, I am the next step in vampiric evolution. I can create disciplines that I wish.
So that goes...
I am the vampire messiah, and then you got a whole new cult.
You're like,
back to the cult episodes, baby.
That
it's always a cult.
It's always a cult.
But also that goes back more into this book. Like I said, that kind of gets retconned later. Like the V20 book specifically has a character say it's not true. But this book specifically posits that all clans that aren't of the original 13 started as caitiffs. The caitiffs developed the new disciplines and were able to
kind of just keep a new
going
clan
long enough to become a new clan.
Right.
So all of the ones that aren't of the original are not of a second generation that wasn't of history, but instead are just developing. Yeah. They're vampires who their freedom allows them to develop new ones. It does specifically say not gargoyles. We know for a fact that those...
Tremere did that. We are not.
That's a later episode. Them and probably Blood Brothers, but that's also another episode.
I hate my brain filled in that one segment from Helsinga Bridge where the little Nazi major tells them not to destroy the Holocaust Museum. No one will deny what we did. But it's the Tremere with gargoyles.
That is also a 7-point merit. Very expensive.
Yeah.
I can go that high anymore.
Yeah.
But you could create a new bloodline. So essentially, once you had created a new discipline, for 7 dots, when you did sire someone, they would gain that ability, your abilities too. So you would be then creating new vampires with your new discipline.
Cool.
Which means you could form a new. So this book, literally, as I said, if you have a cool idea and you want it in the game, you could use the caitiffs as a setup to just put whatever you want in the game.
Yeah.
Having that in conjunction with the Gehenna War book means like, hey guys, we found a antagonist. I'm not saying it's a bad guy. Definitely an antagonist where it's a caitiff that's like, I have cracked the code.
Yes.
And I've now started to make a whole new bloodline in my image.
Oh
no.
So good. Love him.
Oh my god. Love them.
I mean, the Tremere already did it.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Like, the Tremere have done it. The Giovanni have done it.
Multiple times.
Why not me?
The Bruja have technically done it.
That's why I was hinting.
And if those clans can do it, then I can.
That's why
me.
That's why I was hinting at when I said that some of the members in the Giovanni they might have interesting opinions on. I think it specifically says in the book, where do you think the Samdi came from? There's a really cool character in this book. If you give it a read, his name is Solomon Gray. From what I can tell, he's only in this book. He doesn't even have a White Wolf wiki page, but very interesting. He's very much the Caitiff are the next step in evolution, and I can prove it kind of character. He's the main narrator of this. Very cool character. So I would definitely give this a read. If you want to do something like very unique, run your own bullshit in game, I would give this book a read and do those little tweaks we suggested to make this.
Like, if you really want to do Oops All Caitiff, we can do Oops All Caitiff.
We can do Oops New Caitiff.
Oops New Caitiff. Oops Data Foo Up. That's the thing that wakes Kate up, is the new bloodline of Caitiff.
Love it.
Oh god. Gang's all here.
Gang's all here. Hi, Dad.
Oh no, you left the cab company.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks for bringing the shawarma. What the fuck's happening?
Appreciate
it.
Oh
no.
Oh, you're mad at them? Are you mad at me?
It also hints at that's part of why the Tremere dislike them so much. Is they're like, well, we know what we did. That means someone could do it to us. We can't let them around. Although it does say their theory was about the Caitiff is that like every clan but us just made a mistake and created them. We couldn't have done that. We would never.
We would never fuck up like that.
But it does talk about a Caitiff in here who was basically a Tremere was trying to embrace someone through a ritual instead of like physical touch and created a Caitiff. But the one character who's a Caitiff reads that story and says, that would never happen. We'd never let that live.
Yeah, you want to talk about the worm in the basement, my guy? I would never let that live. God dang.
Yeah, there's some weird stuff. There's a guy that turns into a bug. There's a snake woman. This gets bizarre. This gets weird. I'm going to save a lot of that for you just going out and reading if you really want your game to get that unchanged. But
I feel like next episode, because I was saving reading that for the history episode, because I feel like there was going to... From my skimming it, I saw that there was like a couple of like NPCs that I was like, oh, these would be cool to actually have named and listed in the history episode, because there's not as much deep lore with the Caitiff. And so I was saving that for the history episode. And I feel like next episode is going to have to start with me cracking open some sort of booze and go, all right, shit fucks.
So it is interesting. I think we'll have to go over a little bit about like Cain in the first two generations. Talk about that a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Talk about one specific character for a while, while we zoom way forward.
And then we're gonna fast travel through a lot of history.
Yes.
And then we're gonna get really granular for like 100 years.
And even then, there's maybe like 2 characters. Literally on the
like 4
on the White Wolf wiki W's, they don't even have a notable NPCs section on the Caitiff page. Like all the others have like
Which
a notable
is weird
members.
Because there's Mukhtar Bey, there's literally Joseph Pander. There's like a couple of characters within Chicago by Night.
There's Stone Man.
Stone Man.
We'll get into him.
Yeah, it's just like, dog, what are you talking about? Anyways, we're gonna get out of here. Thank you for the music Paralyze. The tune slap. It is on the Bandcamp. Go check them out.
Yeah.
We have social medias, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky. Just type Blank Bodies, you'll find us. John is making faces. He has seen some wild shit.
I'm sorry. We're finishing this. I'm going to read directly from the book.
Okay, cool.
This is the benefit that you get for listening to our advertising bullshit. Skipper discovers something.
Politics among the unbound. Of course, I have to find out who feels about what with the Tzimisce, right?
Oh, of course.
The clanless are an interesting group, and one with great potential. If they were not so obsessed with being equals, they might one day be significant as a force among the kindred. Okay. Well, how do they feel about Tzimisce? The Tzimisce are just another bunch of psychotic Tremere wannabes out to conquer the world. Excuse the fuck out of me! Stay away from them, and stay away from anyone who knows them. They have the other clans of the Sabbat fooled into thinking that all kindred were created equal while simultaneously blood bonding the other clans to them. These guys make the Vendru look like sweethearts. Okay, the last half of it's true, but that first sentence, that's fucked.
I just watched his face go in full shock and chagrin. Like, I've never seen John
How fucking dare you?
in his life clutch pearls.
How fucking dare you?
Just a glove came off. Pistols at dawn.
So the guy who's doing the talking in this book, as much as they talk about the Panders, and I think the Panders had shown up in other books before this one, but he specifically does not trust the Sabbat or the Panders whatsoever. He thinks they're all fools for joining the Sabbat and being used. So he doesn't like any of the Sabbat clans.
He's kind of not wrong, but that's my opinion. If you like the show so far and you want to support us, we do have a Patreon. We appreciate all of you for that. We have Discord roles based on how much you are willing to contribute in the community Discord. You get to vote on polls to help us decide on the order of operations on episodes, as well as Patreon bonus episodes that you also get to have polls to decide on. So
neat.
I know we're going to be delving into 1,000-Year Vampire as a way to do character creation stuff.
It looks like it. The poll technically ends tonight, but it is far in the lead. So
yeah,
if
so
it
I
ends
feel
up being
comfortable just
something
saying
else, they did not split this one. So it ends up being something else, like 8 people like last minute were like, I forgot to vote. But I didn't count. I just look at which bar bigger.
Yeah.
But it looks like 1,000-Year Vampire.
And we have taken the community's suggestion for Hunter Month for a special crossover episode for the Patreon bonus.
Yeah, I think that's what we're gonna.
I think we've locked in on that. It sounds pretty dope.
Does sound fun.
I also get show notes, resources of those who pay for high enough. I'm willing to do character sketches. I very rarely have people take up the character sketches. They're usually just like, I just want to give you guys money. And I'm like, that's really sweet. Also, we have merch at the Ko-Fi. If you just go Blank Buddies Ko-Fi, we have a little merch shop. We got Thaumatussi shirts. We got the OG stuff. We got some stickers. I'm still fighting to get the other stickers. And we're also going to be doing a pre-order for extended sizes on the shirts. I'm just waiting on some final details from our print shop to make sure we're getting things priced appropriately.
Ye and ha.
But that'll be in the pipeline because we want to make sure our thick mamas and daddies out there get the proper swag. God
Yeah.
damn it.
It's the truth.
Correct. As also being a fellow thick bitch, let me tell you, getting standard sizes is important. We just didn't want to do the thing where the amount of times like we've ordered merch for bands and we're like, yeah, we're gonna get the extended sizes because we have big homies, that's okay, and that shit gets snapped up immediately, and then you're just fucked for the rest of tour. And you're just like, damn, I did not order enough of these. Fuck. So we don't want to do that to you guys. So pre-orders it will be.
Yeah.
So keep an eye out. That'll be the next like week-ish too. We'll give an announcement.
We'll yell about it somewhere.
Yeah. If you do a cool project and you want to talk to us about your cool project, you can do the interview series. Email us, blankbodies@gmail. It can be LARP stuff, it can be cosplay stuff, actual plays. Do you write for any game publishers, music?
Are you a vampire?
God, still hunting.
Trying to get that going.
Yeah.
Maybe someday.
Maybe someday. I'd be down to be embraced as a Caitiff. You can do that if you want. Just saying.
Yeah.
You know?
You know.
Most people don't like us anyway. Outside of our little group, okay? Like
Yeah, like our little orbit, we're cool. Like I'm glad we got the little orbit of homies in our circle that we do. But outside of that, yeah, we don't put any effort
yeah, I don't
into
feel like that guy would like me.
the guy out the window.
Yeah.
You just pointed at my neighbor.
Rude. I was just meaning like the wider gaming community. We do say fuck a lot.
Fuck.
I don't know, I feel like I'm chill.
Hunter, your Instagram is one of the most cursed things.
Well, my posts are normal and rare, but
Yeah, your posts are fine.
My algorithm.
Yeah,
is
your
scary.
FYP is fucking. It has an aura and it's not good.
I don't really use it anymore. I just look at stuff on there, but I do have a blue sky, and that is terrifying.
Mm-hmm. You do, and you also have the other project, which is the Stinky Gamer Pleasure Dome.
Yeah, it's a video
pleasure
game
dome.
book club. We're popping back off this week. We got a little thrown off with a surprise career change,
Ayo.
we'll say.
All right.
For both of us hosts, me and John the Third, have
Ayo.
been going through it in Gen Con, so really threw things off. We want to get back on track with that, so we are coming back with Lisa, the Painful.
Oh god, that's such
Ooh.
a sad fucking game.
It's so good though.
It's such a sad fucking game. It is good.
Hell yeah.
Did
It's
you ever
good, but,
play the first one?
I didn't know there was a first one. What?
Yeah, the first game was actually, we'll get into it, but it was a Yume Nikki fan game.
Oh,
It got so popular, he's like, I'll just make this into
cool.
its own
I didn't
game.
know that.
Ayo.
I probably won't actually play it, but I'll talk about it.
Fuck
Yeah.
yeah.
And that's just as good.
Yeah.
I don't have to
you
know
what?
about it.
It is. You don't have to engage in the media before you talk about it at all.
God gets out of here.
Oh yeah, that's my fault. Goodbye, everyone. I love you.